In November 2024, we planned to bring World War II veteran Louies Story back to his former battlefields in Italy. But when his health made it impossible for him to go, we brought Italy to him. In this mini-series, we will follow in the footsteps of Louis during his time in the Italian campaign as a rifleman in the 45th Infantry Division. From when he arrived as a replacement in the mountains of Venafro in December 1943 to when he was wounded on the Anzio beachhead in February 1945. This is Returning to Italy, a soldier's journey.
He was looking for new fodder to send overseas. And so I got sent overseas and put in the 45th Division as a replacement to take the place of that people had been wounded or killed or something like that.
This was the building.
Wow. 179 commanding post.
Yeah.
Is that like damage, war damage that I'm looking at right there?
Yes, those are war damage, yes.
No way.
Those are war damage, maybe fragments of shells or shooting rifles.
Wow.
Of course, are war damage, yeah.
That's crazy.
This you can also see a little bit the shape of the door.
Oh yeah. Oh, number.
The number is changed. This is 28, 22, here is 27. It depends, of course, the number depends from how many doors there are.
Oh, that's right, that's right. Yeah. Wow, this is crazy. Is there damage here, everywhere?
Yeah.
So that was a hot spot here at some point.
The 45th Division had already endured its baptism of fire during the invasion of Sicily on July 10, 1943. In September, it landed on mainland Italy during the Salerno campaign. After breaking out of the beachhead there, the Allies' next step was Rome. The 45th Division crossed the Volturno River and reached the winter line at Venafro in November 1943. The winter line was a formidable obstacle with its rivers and high mountains where the Germans were well fortified and entrenched. It was here that Louis became a replacement for the heavy casualties the division had suffered while attacking the winter line at Venafro. The young man from Holland, Michigan, was assigned to Company L of the 179th Infantry Regiment near the town of Pozzoli. Luciano from the Winterline Museum in Venafro was able to show us from where Louis was sent to the front lines.
As you said, we are in Pozzilli, a little bit south of Laguni, about 10 kilometers south of Laguni. That was the front line. And here in Pozzilli, there was the 179 Regiment Command Post. So it's pretty sure that Louis, before to go to the front line, had to pass here for the normal bureaucracy service, to assign the duty, to assign the unit, to assign the company. So the place is right in front of us. This line of building already exists during the wartime. And this place, it's along the way on the left. What we are looking at is the outside of the command post. Behind there is the label. You can really easily read the 179 Regiment Infantry from the 45th, because this area was held by the 45th. And this building was the command post. So, as I told, I'm pretty sure that all the infantrymen that were assigned to the front line had to pass here to do the bureaucracy stuff, to give them orders, to give them assignment. So this is the first place, pretty sure, that Louis saw when he was assigned in this area.
Wow, that's crazy.
And from here, this is the road that goes to Filignano and Laguni. So that's the route to go to the battlefields.
Our next stop brings us to the American positions near Lagoni, where Louis eventually joined his company. Dug in south of the hamlet, these positions were under frequent enemy artillery fire. Louis recounted a remarkable story from one of his first nights there.
And that night, they started sending in a lot of artillery. And I was in a hole up against a mountain wall that was about 6-7 foot high, and we had rocks around this way. And I was laying and I had my foot on top of that hole, and the guy that had made it, he'd been there for a while, he let out a scream. And he says, call the medics, call the medics. And it was the most unearthly thing that I ever heard. And I said, what's the matter? What's the matter? Get the medic, get the medic. So I crawled out of the hole while they're still shelling because I didn't know any better. Second night there. And the guy that was with the sergeant, he says, man, look at the hole in your overcoat. That shell, and that part of the shrapnel, it went right through my coat and tore half his foot off.
Arriving at the former front line, it didn't take long before we found signs of a past battlefield.
Ah, look, behind the wall.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's crazy.
There's a small foxhole. 1-2 person.
It's crazy to think that it was here today. It's so peaceful and.
That's something we always think when we go on battlefields. This place, as you see, now it's a nice place with the trees and well, now it's winter season. But if you come in the spring or the summer, there are birds, there are the crickets. So it's a very peaceful place. Yeah. You can sit here, have a picnic, looking at the star. In the winter time, in the winter 43, this area was the hell, truly the hell. From Mainarde to San Pietro, it was really the hell on the earth.
And the weather, because today it's 10 Celsius degrees, Fahrenheit would be about 50, 55. It's raining, it's miserable. I feel my hands already, and we've been hours for just like 45 minutes. How was it like that, in November, December 43?
It's quite the same. I mean, of course, now the global warming is changing everything. But in this area, in the winter 43, the weather was like today. Rainy, cold, freeze in the night. The snow start to come at the middle of December. One of the problems for the 5th Army in this area, two big problems for the 5th Army in this area. First one, they were not trained for mountain warfare. They were infantry. Not trained for mountain warfare, not equipped for mountain warfare. They suffered cold, trench foot because they were without a mountain equipment. And this is mountain area. In the winter time, this place, like now, it's terrible. The 45th came from Oklahoma. So flat areas, prairie. For us, this is a small hill. Even this one, it's a small hill. The mountain is the Mainarde. So for us that grew up in this area, it's easy to manage this situation. For people that come up from the prairies like them, it was physically hard to manage this situation. So that were miserable conditions for the soldiers, and of course sitting in a foxhole like that in the night with the rain, on you. So impossible to dry, impossible to warm. You can't burn a fire because if you burn a fire, you're under the view of the enemies.
Yeah, that's right.
So.
Hey, Louie.
Hey, Louis.
Hi, everybody.
How are you doing?
A bunch of foreign-looking people.
How are you?
I'm doing fine.
So
I'm American.
So we have something to show you, Louie.
Okay, on.
All right, Louis. We're standing on the hill 760, which is where you were exactly 81 years ago. We're very close from Monte Cassino, and that's where the 179 Infantry Regiment was for the approximately the entire month of December 1944. And in that area, we actually found some foxholes. So maybe that was yours, who knows? But this is where we are.
Yes. Oh, yes. I know that spot.
Do you remember that hill?
I sure do.
Oh, wow.
I sure do, Flo.
That's crazy.
It's fantastic.
And something we didn't know about this area, Louis, and maybe you're gonna tell us more, but there are a lot of stone wall everywhere. I don't know if you remember that, but they're like little stone walls absolutely everywhere, you know? Like, this is the Italians that make those walls. Like that, you see?
Yeah. That's where my first night I seen a guy's foot get taken off.
There was 8 guys got hit that night. 4 of them got killed, and we had to carry them down the hill, and we carried the live first. 2 of them died on the way down, and one of them that had been killed was that kid from Kentucky. He'd asked about saying a prayer. I didn't know what to tell him, so I said, I could tell you a prayer, but you wouldn't remember it. I said, just say what's in your heart and mean it. I said, and whatever you do, I said, just talk to him like you talk to me. I says, only remember you're speaking to God, and you gotta mean what you say. And I said, don't worry, it'll get through. I said, it'll be as good as any other prayer you can think of. Well, I hope he got to say that prayer. And it was something that I never forget. And I often wondered, did I do the right thing by telling them, to do that? Because of telling them a prayer, I knew he wouldn't remember it. You'd have to say it over and over. So I figured, hey, let him tell him from the heart. That'll mean more than anything else. And so that's what happened to that kid that night. And this guy with the foot was one of the 2 that lived and got carried away. That's another reason I'll never forget it.
Hey, Louis, talking about this young man that was hit in the foot. So we got the morning reports from Footstep Researchers. It's a team working in the archives. They gave us access to the morning reports, and we found the list of the 7-8 men that were killed and wounded that night, and only 1 was hit in the foot, and it was so bad that he was discharged because of the wound. And his name was Leon C. Knopp, Knopp. But he survived. But his wound was so bad that he was evacuated, and he never came back to the front line.
Yeah, it took over half his foot off, Paul.
Yeah.
That took over half his foot off. That was, man, I'll tell you, that scared the daylights out of me, because when he screamed, he raised the whole hillside.
Wow.
Fighting in the hills of Italy proved to be a hard job. Lucky for Louis, his regiment was put in reserve 5 days after his assignment. In the past 3.5 months, the casualties had been severe. From the intended strength of 3,500 men in a regiment, the 179th had more than 300 killed, 1,200 wounded, 230 missing, and 2,200 evacuated as sick or non-battle casualty, a turnover of more than 100%. However, the men of the 45th would soon go in battle again on the Anzio beachhead. Please join us in our next episode. Thank you.